Okay, so the DO over here. So, what do you think so far? What's your biggest problem?
Gingival wall.
What about it?
And axial wall.
So your facial wall is a little bit acute, but at least it's straight. The lingual wall is not straight at all, is it? It's very irregular. So we certainly need to come back and clean this up. Define the margin, define the angle, get a nice flat wall. Then we can find the corner of the box about right here. And come away from that wall that way. I'm going to make this a little bit less acute on the facial. So make sure you take your time and get a nice long straight wall, cut from the margin in. Adjust the angle until it's what you want, and then with the burr vertical, find your corner and drill a hole and cut away from that wall. Come down this wall, cut away from the wall, come down this wall, cut away from that wall. That's what we've been doing. So there's where the axial wall should have been, right?
Yep.
What's it doing way over here? Okay?
Yep.
So again, if you're trying to look down the axis this way when you're doing it, you're going to overextend axial, you're going to undercut the axial, you're going to damage the adjacent tooth like this. So all those things happen when you try to look down the axis. If you look this way the way I am, then none of those things happen and everything works out beautifully.
Like the angulation, it went wrong.
Yeah, that's because you were looking the wrong way.
Yes.
It's always the way it is. And if you don't want to cut over the oblique ridge, look this way so you see where you are.
Gotcha.
Okay, look along the oblique ridge. Then you know you're cutting parallel to the oblique ridge. You're not going to cut up to the top of the oblique ridge and weaken the whole thing. Okay. All right, so continue going gingerly until you get gingival clearance. All right.
I just started
You just started the DO?
I'm still, yeah,
What you
getting
been
used.
doing?
No.
Been hanging out?
No.
Having fun?
No. I'm still getting used to the loops and
Okay.
positions.
Okay, so you did the MO over here, and you're just barely starting the... Now, so what's the first thing you do on the DO?
Cut to the middle of the contact and then.
Okay, make a hole at the middle of the contact, facial angle, you're right next to the adjacent tooth,
Yeah.
the depth of the burr. How about that?
And then extend it towards the facial. And
Yeah, but look how shallow you are. You're like not going into the tooth at all. You've got to get some depth. So work at this depth right here as you go facial and lingually. If you have really shallow walls, it's super easy to overextend. Because just a little slip and it cuts beyond the little short wall that you have. If you make it taller and you slip and you hit the wall, it doesn't cut. So you won't slip and overextend. So anyway, continue with that one. This one you don't quite have the gingival clearance, do you? See that right there? It's only still 0.1. And you're leaning the burr lingually quite a bit over here, and this is still a little bit acute. So again, with the burr vertical, we always make sure we're happy with the occlusal outline first. Find your margin, find the angle, get the length, make the curve. When we're happy with the occlusal outline, then we can find the corners of the box. And drill holes where we want those corners to be, and then cut away from those walls. And then all we have to do is get rid of the excess, and we'll have a nice box. So this is a good one to practice with a 55 burr. Get rid of the excess on the lingual, excess on the facial, excess in the middle, and then see if you have any gingival clearance. If you don't, repeat the 7 steps again. Okay, so you can spend a couple minutes working on that, and then go ahead and continue with your DO. All right.
I had to start
Oh,
another
on
tooth.
the-
Yeah, I just got confused.
You got confused about do one prep on one side of the arch and the
Yeah.
other prep on the other side of the
No,
arch?
I thought MO or DO on the same tooth. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why I had it on the lecture.
Yeah. I just.
But when we were talking about where to do them, we were saying, okay, do an MO here and a DO over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so in any event, so today it's 4 preps in 4 quadrants.
Okay.
So you're going
I
to have a
will.
little trouble doing the
No, I'll just
next
do
one
it
over there.
whenever in between.
Okay, so what do you think about your DO so far?
It's wide. It's
Wide. Well, I'm not sure what that means.
You don't know what that means. Like you're not
No.
understanding what I mean. Then.
Well, width.
I can't
Okay.
say it's isthmus because there's no isthmus there.
So let's say you're going down the freeway
Okay.
and you're saying something's wide.
Okay. Okay.
What is it? What are you talking about?
I-
The car, the truck, the road, the lane?
Road.
Right? So I don't know. So you say the width. Well, what width?
Pulpal floor.
Okay, so the pulpal floor is right here.
Yeah.
So it's too wide in which direction?
Facial lingual.
Okay, it's too wide this way?
Yeah.
Maybe it's more too wide this direction. It's overextended toward the oblique ridge.
Okay.
On the other hand, the clearance on the facial is very, very little, isn't it?
Okay. I can make it more.
Maybe only 0.1 or so. Over here, it's a little better.
Okay.
And when you find a margin and you cut an angle, cut farther in
Okay.
so that it goes beyond where you want the axial. I like where you put the axial,
Okay.
but you want to go past it more before you try to make the axial. Go past where you want the axial to be. A little more. A longer, straighter wall coming in. Then you can
Pointed.
find the corner right there.
Okay.
All right, and then when you're cutting along the oblique ridge, look this way. So find your margin, find your angle, get the length, and once you've got the way you want there, then look this way and come all the way along the oblique ridge like this.
Okay.
And following the distal lingual groove. You see, the way I'm looking, I can see exactly where I am relative to the oblique ridge. I'm not going to cut up here because it's easy to see if I'm cutting too close to the oblique ridge.
Okay.
The way I'm looking, it's really easy to see where I am relative to the oblique ridge, and that's the key to the whole thing right there.
Okay. And MO's facial wall, I try to.
Yeah, I like your exit angle pretty well. It's
Okay.
fairly flat.
Yeah.
Of course, we know it's overextended, but we'll live with that.
It's overextended, yeah.
But now you came in farther, so now it's easy to put the axial where you want it, which should probably be about right here. Is this a new 330 burr?
Yeah, this new one.
You did a new one for the DO?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do DO once more on the other tooth because I'm not happy
Yeah,
with what
but
I
again,
have done.
one prep, one burr. Yeah. Then it won't necessarily get so burning like that. But we looked at this one before.
Yeah, we did look at that.
Yeah. But again, you could have had your axial a little bit more under control. It's not all that deep axially, but deeper than it really should have been or could have been.
But I had clearance, so I didn't go more.
No, I'm talking about axial depth.
Okay.
I'm talking about the position of the wall axially. I'm not talking about gingival clearance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just showing you, by going gingivally, I'm showing you where the axial could have been.
Okay, could have been. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Anyway, not too far off. You're making some progress. So, yeah, we won't have too much time to actually start on a deal over here.
That's okay.
But see if you can get rid of the excess over here, clean up this with a 55 burr,
Okay.
and then define those corners really well, and, put some retainer grooves in. All right? All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so your MO, I corrected the facial wall a little bit for you. Remember I
Yes.
did the top of the facial wall and then I left a little step at the bottom and you were going to get rid of that, right? And then
I
there's
forgot that to work with that, so I started.
no.
It will work.
So a lot of times I'll do half of something and then
Right.
let you do the rest and follow what I did first. And that will guide you a little bit more when you're doing what you should be doing. So again, you can remove this step
Okay.
at the gingival part of this wall. Once we do the